Hi, this is Wesley,
This is Ka'shenia,
and we would like to welcome you to the
the
Underground Geek
Underground
Shack.
Geek Shack. So, hey Wes,
Hi, ready to
do
talk
you?
about this episode?
Yeah. So let me just ask you this one question.
Sure, what's up?
So, hey Wes, do you want to actually? You know what? We're gonna skip that part of the episode because with the show that we've just watched, there's not a single PG worthy awesome line that I could even pull out of thin air with this one.
Do I sense a little bit of a fourth wall break there, buddy?
Listen here, bud. You can't be the only ones making the fourth wall breaks. So, um, I'm beating around the bush with this one, but so we're actually going to be talking about it's not really current, but it's still kind of fresh on everyone's minds.
Mhm.
We're going to be talking about Chainsaw Man today.
Off of the, I was gonna say critically acclaimed, but off the popular manga Chainsaw Man by Tatsuki Fujimoto.
So, Wes,
Yes, part one.
you've
Actually, this is well,
oh,
okay. Technically, this is only an arc within part one. So within Chainsaw Man the manga, yes, I'm holding it up like this, like we actually have it in our hands. We have
because you don't have it
part
all
one.
digital.
Yeah, I have it digital.
Okay,
So we have part one, and then we're in part two right now.
okay.
So yeah, we're going through the. I called it an arc earlier. It was like the Katana arc. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
So season one is all about the Katana arc. So before we get into this, I
Mm-hmm.
want you, as since you were the one who actually read the manga,
Mm-hmm.
so you came in with a lot of hype because I remember when you started reading the manga and you read it like not knowing that there was going to be an anime. You
Yeah.
literally was just like, "Yo, I heard about this cool manga," and you were reading it. I didn't know anything about it, but you and Shane did an episode about this, didn't you?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I want to know your thoughts when
Mm-hmm.
the anime was announced, and then I want to know what were your overall thoughts comparing the manga to the anime that we have right now.
Okay. So reading it at first, I was like, all right, this is cool, a little bit weird, but still cool nonetheless. And then, when the anime got announced, I was like, oh my gosh, we got an anime announcement. I am hyped. I want to see this, and this. And then I'm like, well, what studio is going to do it? Is it going to be Mappa? Is it going to be Studio Ufotable? I was like, I don't know. And then part of me was like, if Ufotable does it, we might get Demon Slayer quality. If Mappa does it, we probably gonna get Attack on Titan quality. And then I was like, I don't care at this point. I just want to see it animated.
And then so when it was announced that Studio Mappa was going to be taking over the animation rights to this.
Like, and all we got was just a little teaser trailer of Denji just walking through the. Well, actually, no. The first teaser trailer we got was basically just still images from the manga. So we basically just got panel shots, and then we had Makima standing in front of all the panels, just swaying back and forth, and that was it. And I was like, all right, Mappa, I see what you're doing. And then they actually hit us with the all right, you want a real trailer, here you go. And then we just get Denji walking through the alleyway and then reaches the door, and then we were like, oh my gosh, it's real. And then I was just like I was like, all right, I'm hyped for this. I'm really hyped for it. And every time I talk to somebody about it, they were like, what's Chainsaw Man? That's not a real thing. And I was like, the manga's real. And
All right, so wait, let me pause you right there real quick
mm-hmm.
because when I first heard about Chainsaw Man, when he was telling me about it, I legitimately was just kind of like, wait a minute, isn't that anime that's about the guy whose face is a gun face or whatever the freaking anime name was? I was like, wait, is it like that? And you were like, oh, no.
No.
So, sorry, I had to pause you right there.
No,
But
you
so
good.
I have a quick question
Mm-hmm.
before we go into your thoughts about the actual anime compared to the manga.
Mm-hmm.
So with the first trailer, the one that you said where Makima was standing in front of the panels and swaying back and forth,
Mm-hmm.
was that okay? Because this anime has a very interesting style was that the style? Was it in the style that we're using now, or was it more like anime style? So let's say, like, like Attack on Titan or something like that. Like, did it look like a typical anime?
It was more in the style that we have now, but it was
Okay.
mainly because of like you knew that it was Makima due to her eyes.
You
Yeah.
saw Makima's eyes,
Hmm.
and that's how you know
Yeah,
to
that's
continue.
that's that's how I knew that it was Makima, but it was like we couldn't actually see, like we saw like that it was Makima, but it was like the light, it was like a projection light being shined down on her. So it's like you still had all the panels around her, and it was just
Mhm.
like, all right, you can tell that it's Makima, but then you're just like, that's it.
Interesting. I kind of want to find, like, a part of me wants to find the first trailer so I can see it myself,
Hmm.
because this is like an interesting announcement trailer. But when you got the second one, that's when y'all really like got hyped, because I'm assuming with the first one there wasn't like much movement, so it probably didn't give off. Because let me gush about. I know I'm going a little bit out of order, but I
Hmm.
just want to say, when it comes to this anime, they've you can tell that anime has gotten a lot better when it comes to CG,
Oh yeah, yeah.
because this anime blended CG and drawn anime pretty good. At
Hmm.
times, I would look and I'm just kind of like, oh, wait a second. Oh, snap, this is CG. And then when I'm looking at something, I'm thinking, oh, that's CG. It's actually like just 2D.
Yeah.
Or, and I'm going to say this with one of the endings, with
Hmm.
Power's ending. That's what I'm going to call it. I think it's like ending 4.
Okay.
We get the shot at the beginning of Power like rotating, and
Hmm.
you can tell it's a 3D. They pulled like a Miles Morales, Spider-Man,
Yeah.
Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah. Into the
They
Spider
pulled
Verse.
that where it's like a 3D animation with 2D layover.
Mm.
Like, I'm just like, that's so cool. Anime has gotten so great. I'm sorry. I I'm just gushing about the animation. But
No,
no,
you good.
so let's continue on with your thoughts of the anime
Comparing
compared
the
to the
comparing
manga.
the
Was
anime to
there,
the manga. Yeah.
was there a lot
So
of differences? Was there some changes that you didn't like? Like, I
like
know about one in particular, but we can get into that a little bit later.
like at first I was really trying to figure out how they were gonna do it, right? I
Hmm.
was like, are they gonna do it like beat for beat and like panel for panel? Or are they gonna take some liberties and do some like anime only type of stuff?
Yeah.
And for the most part, I liked what I saw. It was like one for one with the manga.
I was gonna say, was there anything like they didn't pull? I guess in your case, a My Hero Academia, where the villain arc was done in the wrong order.
No, actually, everything was pretty much beat for beat. They did an interesting change, like an interesting change up, instead of keeping it in a third person point of view, and switching it to a first person
Okay,
with
so
one of the characters, and I was like, all right, that's an interesting take.
I know about one change because
Hmm.
I was looking this up on YouTube because I want to know what other people thought about this. But so apparently, one of the changes that they've made to the anime is that I've heard that when it came to the udon scene, when they're waiting for their food,
Hmm.
there was supposed to be like a muscle devil
Oh
that,
yeah, that was the yeah. Upon the second rewatch, I totally glossed over that. Yep, yep, because that was the only thing that was taken out. Actually, I kind of wanted to see that though. I feel like that would have been interesting.
yes.
Yeah.
And the guy said that it probably was taken out probably because of time restraints. And when seeing the actual like anime and like the polish that was put behind it, the amount of quality it has,
Mhm.
I could see why they took it out, because there's so much work that went into what was already there. Doing a little bit extra like that might have been like a little bit too much to do. And
Yeah.
maybe I don't know if the muscle devil
Hmm.
within that part had much with the story, if you get what I mean.
No, I got you. I got you. It's basically kind of like he didn't really. You don't think it would have contributed much to the development of Denji, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Denji, especially towards the beginning,
Hmm.
he was, I mean, he still is. You know what? This is a good time to go into the story. But sorry, did you have any more thoughts about the differences so far
uh,
before we go a little bit deeper into this?
no, not really. I mean, Kobeni is Kobeni, pretty much one for one
Oh my
Kobeni.
god, yeah. we're, we're gonna get into her here in a little bit.
Kobeni's Kobeni. Powers, powers crazy,
Power.
but power's still power. Aki, I'm trying to figure out which voice I like for Aki though,
Oh
because
yeah,
the
because oh yeah,
the
that's right. You watched it in dub and in sub.
yeah, because sub I like his voice sounds like what I picture his voice to sound like. In the dub, he sounds like a grown man.
What? Now I gotta listen to the dub. Okay, wait. Before we go anywhere else, what
Mhm.
does Makima's voice sound like? Like, does the English voice fit her?
Oh yeah, no, yeah. Her English voice fits her.
All
It's
right, so we're
just
gonna talk about some cons, but that'll be later on in the episode. I
mhm,
want you to keep that in mind when it comes to her voice.
yeah.
So, um,
It sound because like here's the thing, right?
mhm.
When I first heard Makima speak, I got to get the panel
English or
out of my
Japanese?
both. Okay, first English, first Japanese. Let me go back. First, when I heard her first speak in Japanese, her voice sounds like it's supposed to. It's not supposed to sound all nice and fluffy. Whenever she speaks, it's yeah. When she speaks, there you know what she's saying, but then there's also a little bit of like, hey, I'm a hurt you a little bit, but that's the underline of everything I'm saying.
Mhm.
So it's like, yeah, it's like it's like the double standard. Here's what here's what I'm saying, like, hey, you look nice today. And then the underline is, yeah, you look nice today, but
You look even better on a platter. I'm just
right.
kidding.
Whoa.
I don't know why I made Makima a freaking cannibal right there. But so this there's an issue that I want to bring up later on when we're talking about the cons. It wasn't a
Mhm,
con for me, but apparently it was a con for everybody else.
mhm,
So continuing on. So let me go through my thoughts on the anime since I'm going through it specifically just strictly through the anime.
yeah, yeah.
I I didn't have any hype to fall into because I honestly didn't know, what I was getting. I honestly, like I said, I didn't know what I was getting myself into. I came into this because you were so hyped for it. You're like, yo, oh my God, they're making Chainsaw Man. My brother started watching it. I walked in, I'm just kind of like, all right, cool. That animation looks really interesting. That's a really interesting, action scene.
Mhm,
Then I heard people talking about it. I seen the infamous kiss from episode 7.
mhm,
Yeah, we're going to talk about that too.
yeah,
And then I was
yeah.
kind of like, and then I watched Giga from YouTube
Mhm.
talk about it. I'm like, okay, I need to watch this anime now. Like everyone's talking about this. I want to know what this is about. And I haven't seen any like not modern, any recent anime releases lately. So let this be one of them.
Mhm,
So um the story, I have to say, for me, the best way for me to describe Chainsaw Man
mhm.
is, shonen. We don't care about shonen. We're taking every trope we know from shonen and we're just going to demolish it in the best way possible. So, what do I mean by that? Let me try to explain my thoughts on this.
Okay.
So, you know what? Let's go back to My Hero Academia, seeing as how that's like one of the more recent animes that me and you have both seen since we talked about season 4 not too long ago.
Yeah, yeah.
So let's go back to season 1, My Hero Academia. Wesley, describe Deku to me at the beginning of My Hero Academia.
Um, nervous, a bundle
Mm-hmm.
of joy,
Yeah.
and quirkless.
Workless? Yep. Now, what was his main goals?
To become the world's greatest hero, to actually get a quirk, and to attend UA, which we
All
still
right.
have no clue what UA stands for.
Exactly. No one's ever told us. Universally awesome. That's what is in my head. All right, so that's Deku, right? And that's pretty much the poster child of every shonen anime. Let's take another shonen character, Tanjiro. Explain Tanjiro to me.
Selfless, hardworking, killer of demons.
Yes. All right. So you said, he's gullible and stuff like that.
Mhm.
So, that's supposed to tell. And then what's his goal?
To bring his sister back to becoming a human, turn his sister back into a human instead of a demon. Why did I say bring his sister back? Like she ain't leaving.
She ain't dead.
She ain't dead.
But no, so I get what you mean. So, and he wants to get revenge on his family.
Yeah.
So we have two shonen protagonists.
Mm-hmm.
They're young, they're both in their teens.
Mm-hmm.
They are hardworking, they're ambitious, they have big goals, there's something that they want to achieve. And that is like on a more monumental scale, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And we can pretty much say they've lived quote unquote normal lives. Let's say that.
Yeah.
They both came from a loving family.
Mm-hmm.
They live in society.
Yeah.
So like keep those things in mind. So now I'm going to talk about Denji.
Mm-hmm.
So this is why I said this anime is shonen, we're going to destroy shonen. Denji, he's a teenager,
Mm-hmm.
correct?
Mm-hmm.
He's young. He is hardworking. He does try to work really hard to pay off his debt. Well, his father's debt, technically.
The large amount of debt, yeah.
The large amount of debt that his father has left behind.
Mm-hmm.
So we have that. He is hardworking. Now, he's perverse.
Mm-hmm.
He's very vulgar. He doesn't care.
Mm-hmm.
Not really. Let's talk about his goals. He had very set goals and he reached a few of them.
Yeah.
Now, his first goal was to eat bread with jam on it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now, on a scale of one being, the size of a dust particle to 10 being the size of the freaking universe, how big was that goal?
I would say maybe around maybe like a 3.
Eating jam,
Mm-hmm.
eating toast with jam.
Yep.
All right. So that's the 3 to you, but that was a 10 to Denji.
Oh yeah.
Next, it was hang out with a girl or be hugged by a girl. He gets that in the first episode. He's
Mm-hmm.
already reached one of his other goals.
Yep.
Let's see, what's another goal? He came up with this in episode 2. He wanted to touch breasts.
He wants to hang out with the girl. He wants to play video games with the girl.
He wants
And
to touch boobs.
yep.
And he ended up touching boobs in episode 4. So again, he's already reached his goals. But the thing is, he has very small goals.
Mm-hmm.
But think about it. He's came from a very rough life
Mm-hmm.
where his parents are both dead. He's living in severe poverty. He had to sell his eye, his he had to sell his eye,
He had to sell
his
his eye,
kidney.
his kidney, his nut.
Yeah, his left nut. He had to sell. He said he had to sell one of his nuts, and I was like, oh. And it's really funny because it didn't hit me how old Denji was, and I feel like this was done on purpose. We didn't find out his age until episode 7,
Mm-hmm.
but he's like, "Oh, I'm 16." You're 16, and you lived through my life plus 10 others, dude.
Because in the manga he says, "I think I'm 16."
Yeah, he says, and that's the thing. He thinks he doesn't know. He doesn't live in reality. He's not really with society because he has to work for the Yakuza to get money to pay off his debt and everything. He's meant to be a loser.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. That's a really rough way of saying it. But
I mean, you're not wrong. You just took me to a flash forward of part 2, so I had to back myself up. I'm sorry.
Sorry. You had that Raven Simone look where you just like you saw the future. And you had to like come back. So Denji is not meant to be a main character in the more like shonen typical sense. Yeah. But he is our main character and we're supposed to be rooting for him.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's just he's this show is like, this is your main character, this is the guy you're rooting for. Here you go.
In one sense, it brings me back to what Shane had once said when we did our Chainsaw Man episode,
Uh-huh.
and he had said Denji is not a main character. He is unique,
Yes.
but not a main character.
Yes. And you know what? Denji isn't even.
Which does make sense.
Mhm.
We're not, none of us are wrong. It makes
Yeah.
sense because like, you know, as you were saying before, you know, like when you think about Tanjiro, when you think about all these other anime characters, I'm throwing Naruto, I'm throwing every anime character we know, Hunter x Hunter, Gon Freaks, we throw it in freaking Luffy. You got all these lofty goals, but then you have like everyone's lofty goals are here. Yeah, they filled
Yeah.
up the screen. And then you
Yeah.
have Denji's goal, which is just this.
It's barely even that.
Barely.
And he even talks about it in, like, I think the second and third episode, where he's like, everyone's doing something, everyone has like a main goal. He's doing it to revenge his family. They're doing it to protect their families and stuff like that. And he's just kind of like, I don't have that, you
Yeah.
know. And then he even has that argument with a later villain when it came to the leech devil.
Mm-hmm. Oh, the
you
dream
know
battle.
yeah, the dream battle. And he's like, and because she's like, huh, are you telling me you're fighting me just because you want to fondle some breast?
Yeah.
Like, she's like, God, you're such a, like, useless yepper, as she calls him.
Yeah.
Because she keeps referring to him as a dog. That's the thing, everyone refers to him as a dog, basically.
Because that was the first thing Makima said. Because she said, "You have two options: either I kill you or you become my pet."
And
And
then
I
she
accept.
said,
She said, "I accept either a yes
or a
or a
wolf.
wolf," and that drove the chainsaw community wild.
That I like how, literally, because I didn't know much about Chainsaw Man,
Mm-hmm.
but that was the one line I knew was, you can either say yes or wolf. I'm not a dog. And people are like, I'm not a dog. Say wolf for me. Bark, 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 bark.
Nope.
One more thing about Denji
Mm-hmm.
is, how he's supposed to be the hero. He's not even heroic.
To a point.
As we know,
Yeah.
his goals, he's doing things because he wants to achieve his goals,
Oh,
which are,
that's right. And also, he wants to show Pochita his dreams.
yeah, he wants to show Pochita his dreams, and his dreams are very small compared
Yeah.
to a normal person.
Yeah.
And when he was fighting against the Bat Devil,
Yeah.
and he was like, huh, so you won't hurt a human's life, so that means you can't cut through this car. You see Denji, he catches the car, and he says, you think I care about some guy? And then he throws the car, and I'm like, this is not a hero. He is not a hero. He's shown many times that he's not a hero. He's only doing this because Makima is telling him to.
I mean, yeah. I mean, in the end, he did save some people's lives.
Yes, like, there is humanity to him. He refuses to eat like another person
Mm-hmm.
because the devils, they can regenerate by drinking blood.
Mm-hmm.
So we can see that he's actually not hunting other people.
Yeah.
And I'm just kind of like, all right, there's a little bit of heroicism in him.
Mm-hmm.
In multiple fights where there was other people, he did his best to save other people. But in the grand scheme of things, he does not honestly care about them. Like, yes, he doesn't want to hurt them or anything. But if you were to ask him how would he feel about it, he'd probably say, I don't care.
Yeah. Yeah. Probably indifferent. Yeah.
Yeah. And
No,
Tanjiro would be like, I'm doing this to save other people. Deku would be
mm-hmm.
like, I'm trying to save other people. Naruto, I want to be respected in my village, but also I want to save other people. There's
Yeah.
just so many things that we can compare Denji to other shonen characters. And
Mm-hmm.
he will again prove to us he's not a shonen main character. However, and I do believe, let me pull this up, this is marketed as a shonen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm pretty
But
sure.
I have to double check. Yeah, this is marketed as a shonen. I'm
I
looking at
thought
my
so.
anime list. This is a shonen. This was shown in Shonen Jump.
Yep. It's a shonen, all right. Manga's still in Shonen Jump.
And what's funny is because the style of this anime,
Mhm.
the plot, the story, everything would have not put this as shonen, but instead as psychological seinen.
Yeah, yeah, I can see it. I can see it. Yeah.
But no, this is a shonen. The character is a young teenager, he thinks,
Mhm.
and we're supposed to root for him as a shonen main character. I'm gonna get off of Makima right now because I know you. I'm sorry. It's really interesting because this is a shonen that's not a shonen. It's just so weird to. It's weird to compare. I'm sorry. I'm ranting.
You're good. You're good. Next up is Aki. Well, technically, we can tie Aki and Power to the same one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I mean, even though they're side characters, Aki is more like a shonen character. He should be the main character, but he's a
Mm-hmm.
supporting role,
Mm-hmm. See,
kind of.
now
He
you
is
see
also
it where we're coming from.
yes. We're basically so when it comes again, I'm going back to My Hero Academia. Let's say Deku was not the main character. This anime is literally Mineta's the main character and Deku is like his sidekick. And I'm just like, wait a second.
And
What?
basically, the thing is that like, so for Chainsaw Man, right?
Mm-hmm.
How I'm figuring it as basically the roles have been switched.
Yes.
Instead of, because you see Aki and you're like, oh, Aki seems like the main character type of person.
Yes.
Denji seems
He
like the
has the main
supporting
character
role,
attitude. Yeah.
and Denji seems like the supporting role, and Power is just
Power's power. She's in
power.
her own power.
And
She's in her own world.
yeah, and so you would have Aki in normal trope terms. If we're still going by the tropes of three, and so you would have Aki as the main character, Denji as the supporting, and then just have Power there just to be Power.
You know what? This is making you know what this is surprisingly making me think of?
What?
The Koto anime. Sounds of Life. That's
Yep.
what it was called, right?
Yeah, Sounds of
Yeah.
Life.
You have the main male character who wants to like rebuild the freaking Koto Club. You have
Mhm.
the sidekick who is a little bit of a troublemaker, but he's good at heart. And then you have the main girl that comes in and like rounds out the whole group. This group, however, let's go back to Chainsaw Man. The main character is a perverted guy who just
Taraska, Chika, and Hozuki. There we go.
you were you were thinking so hard about them. It's just like I remember Chica. That's all I remember was Chica. I was like, what is this man doing?
Like, hold up.
But no, so we have Denji,
Mhm.
who is a perverse guy who just wants to cope with feel and live a normal life. We have Aki, who's more like a main shonen character, but he's just, on the side. And then we have Power, the female protagonist that's supposed to round out the whole group, who is just causing more destruction than anything. We are deconstructing the shonen uh trope as we know it. And this is marketed as a shonen.
Yep.
So as much as I would like to continue on with the characters, we
As
do
much as
have
I
to
would
move
like
on.
to, but yeah, we gotta keep this train, for a weird way to phrase it, but we gotta keep this train a moving.
All right. So,
Mhm.
plot of season 1. It's a very interesting one that was filled with a lot of debates because not only are the characters freaking deconstruction of shonen, the whole plot is deconstruction of shonen.
Mhm.
Another example of this, I'll go back to My Hero Academia because it's the one example that's most recent on my mind.
Okay.
We are introduced to main character. We get introduced to his mentor. We find out he has his best friend is also his bully.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
he has a small friend group right then and there, and then we get introduced to UA, and then his friend group grows. All right,
Yeah.
that's the plot of season 1,
Mhm.
or when it comes to like normal things. For here, we get introduced to the main character. His best friend is a devil, a
Yeah.
chainsaw devil, and he cherishes him like it's his own family because it basically is just his only family now. His quote unquote mentor isn't really his mentor, it's just a Yakuza member that's using him for money.
Mhm.
Mentor gets turned into a zombie, has to kill him. Then we get introduced to small friend group, which is Aki and Power.
Yeah.
Aki doesn't like him at first, beats him up, tells him he needs to leave.
Hmm.
Power is Power. She just does her own thing, tries to get him killed. So instantly we see that he doesn't really have like a close, we call them a close friend group. They became
Yeah.
one towards the end. But technically Denki, even like not Denki, Denji's
Denji.
Denji's only quote unquote friend. His friend is technically inside of his body
Hmm.
because Pochita has fused with him so that he can become the Chainsaw Man.
So he Pochita gave Denji his heart.
Yes.
Yeah.
But so after Pochita's quote unquote death,
Hmm.
um, his only friend is Makima, but Makima really is just using him for her own benefits as well.
Yeah.
But there is an interest in him. We see that there is an interest in him.
Hmm.
That much is obvious. But where is this leading up to? Why am I talking about friend groups, Wesley? Because we're going to talk about the infamous episode 7 and 8, where the biggest debate happens. So you know how anime does that thing where we get introduced to more side characters and we learn to love them throughout the whole series?
Hmm.
Throughout episodes 6, 7, and 8,
Hmm.
we get introduced to more characters.
Yeah, we get more. We get introduced more to the public safety.
Yep.
And Division
Kobeni,
4.
we get introduced to Kobeni,
Hmm.
Arai,
Yep.
and
Himeno.
Himeno.
Hmm.
So we're like, oh, cool. They're doing that thing where the friend group is growing. We're getting introduced to more characters. That's awesome. I can't wait to love them for like 5 seasons.
Yeah,
See,
right?
you see
Right?
where I'm going with this,
Right?
Wesley?
Yep. Yep.
So, episode 6, Kobeni tries to kill Denji because the freaking Infinity Devil is just kind of like, kill Denji and give me his heart, whatever, blah blah blah.
Hmm.
Okay, cool, great, whatever. So the friend group is not a friend group. They all try to kill. Well,
Well,
eventually, they almost all try to kill. The only one that protects him is
power is just power. I want
Power's
to
just
get
power.
dealt.
She wants to become prime minister, and she says, Denji, I can't become the prime minister if you're still alive.
She said,
Dude,
I'm on team kill Denji.
I'm like, you know what, Power, I'm not even mad at you. Whatever. Cool, you do you, boo. But the only one that tries to protect him is Aki. Because
Mhm.
there is a point where Himeno's like, we're not gonna kill him, but then she starts to break. So we see that,
Kobeni
oh
already
no,
broke.
yeah, Kenbeni. Oh, Kenbeni was like the first one to break.
She's like, kill
She screamed. Oh my god! So first off, I know we were going to talk about characters, but Kobeni, episode 6. I need you to shut up. I swear,
him.
you screaming all the time.
I know what you are. Like, whoa, Kobeni, calm down.
Whoa, chill out, woman. I swear. Also, can I just say that
Mhm.
freaking Denji is like the biggest bruh moment in episode 6. He's like, cool, we should thank this devil for allowing me to take a nap. And then he just falls asleep on the bed.
He literally just goes to sleep.
That's all he does. I'm like, what? Denji, you could be possibly stuck in here forever. And he's just kind of like, nap time. I'm like, dude, that's such a mood. But no. So,
He does come up with the really interesting plan though. Kill
yeah.
the basically hurt the devil so much to the point where he wants himself to die.
Yeah, and that's basically, yeah, and that was like a really good thing. Because I was just kind of like, well, they can't really defeat it. It's infinity. How can you defeat infinity? We found
Mm-hmm.
out this one weakness is basically pain. And he made the devil hurt so much. He was just kind of like, here's my heart. I'm so sorry. Please just kill me. I'm
Yeah.
like, whoa, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's really epic. And I love how it was the 8th floor because it took me until now to realize 8 on its side is infinity.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, yeah, it's so cool, dude. Also, I want to gush about the animation, but I know I gotta wait later. So we're just gonna continue on. The animation of this specific ending, we're getting back to this. So
Mm-hmm.
episode 7. Oh, infamous episode 7. We defeat the Infinity Ghost, whatever.
Devil, yeah.
And we find out that Kabeni and Arai wants to like quit public safety.
Hmm.
Understandable. They went through so much
Hmm.
in that one little arc. Technically, they were in there, I think, for a total of 7 days.
Hmm.
I know that 3 days passed towards the end, but there was more days that passed before it.
Yeah.
All right, so you see that. So she's like, all right, well, let's all like have a party. Let's have a welcoming party. This
Yeah,
is
and
how,
Himeno sat there and she told Denji, like, hey, yo, once this is done, I'll give you a kiss.
yeah. So again, this anime pulled the shonen thing where like we're introduced to more characters because
Hmm.
you realize, okay, going back to My Hero Academia. I'm sorry, I know I keep
This is
going
the
back.
thing with you, isn't it?
Deku, we get introduced to Bakugo. He is like the main best friend slash bully.
Hmm.
I mean, he calls him Kachan. So that's
Hmm.
like, he's best friend status,
Yeah.
unfortunately. Then we get introduced to Uraraka and Ida,
Hmm.
and then eventually Shoto, but he's a little bit later, right? So they're like the secondary best friends
Hmm.
to Deku. Then we
Yeah.
get introduced to Gluesta Class 1A. They're not technically best friends, but they all are like very important to Deku.
Yeah.
So again, this one, Denji, we get introduced to Aki and Power. Well, first, his first main quote unquote best friend, Pochita, inside of him.
Hmm.
Makima starts becoming, his best friend slash, interest. Makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
Then we have Aki and Power, which become his best friends eventually.
Hmm.
Then we get introduced to Kobeni and Arai and Himeno. Himeno actually does become his friend. Kobeni, we eventually win her over, I guess.
Yeah.
Arai, we'll get to him here shortly. And then we get introduced to the rest of Division 4. We get introduced, and I'm just kind of like, cool. I get to know more of these characters because we learned more about rest of Class 1A eventually. We're gonna
Yeah.
learn the rest. We're gonna learn a lot more about these characters as the series goes on.
Yeah.
And then episode 8 happened. Most of Division 4 dies.
You're not wrong.
Chainsaw Man did that thing to me. They were like, oh, this is starting to become too much like a shonen. No, we don't want that. So this character, Himeno, the one where okay, yeah, sorry. I skipped over the fact that we did get a kiss. Denji
Yeah, we
did get
did.
his first
Yeah.
kiss.
That okay, I'm not gonna lie. That was hilarious
It was
because
the
I'm coming at
I
it. I'm
was
coming at it from
able
both. I'm coming at it from
I
two
was
different
Wesley,
angles.
wait. So I was able to step again. So those who don't know, in episode 7, like towards the middle, towards the end, Himeno eventually gives Denji a kiss after she got like pissed out drunk.
Hmm.
And then the kiss turns into her vomiting into his mouth, and Denji swallows it because because of how he lived. He's learned not to like give up anything nutritional, and unfortunately, based off of biological means, the food wasn't completely broken down. Therefore, there is technically some nutrients within.
Ugh.
Oh, the thing is, Wesley, I know you're about to give it praise or whatever. I was able to stomach it until I heard, like, I saw his face and he did the gulp. I
Like
almost
okay,
lost it.
that
I can't think.
at that point, that wasn't what I was going to praise.
Oh, I'm
No,
sorry. I know
no,
I almost lost
no,
it. No, no,
no,
listen, listen. I just almost lost it right now. Thinking back to
no,
the face that he made as he was swallowing. I'm like,
no.
no.
Stop,
The sound.
stop, stop, please, stop. You about to make me
Oh.
pull the stop it. Get some help.
Oh my god. But no, continue what you were about to say. You
So
said coming at this from
okay, so I was coming at this from two different points.
uh-huh.
Coming at it from the manga and coming at it from watching the anime.
Yeah.
Manga wise, first time I just thought it was hilarious because when they're sitting at the at the get together and everything, right, and everyone's talking about you know I'm with this public division. I'm with this division. I'm with this division. My name's this. My contract with this. I have a contract with this certain devil. I was like, all right, cool. And then it got to a point where everyone, like, everyone's just having a good old time and everything. Power's over here trying to take all the food, and like Denji's like, everyone's like, oh snap, Makima's here, and then Denji's like, oh, I want a kiss from Makima, and then Himeno's like, oh, so you don't want me to kiss you, and then it's just a whole back and forth thing between Denji and Makima, and because Makima has no clue what's going on, and Makima's like, oh, you were gonna get a kiss, and then he goes, yeah, and then he goes, oh, you were. She's like, oh, so you were gonna get a kiss. He goes, no. It's just this whole denial of he wants the kiss, but he wants it from Makima, not Himeno.
Yeah.
And then when I saw it in the anime, I was like, all right, this is interesting. I kind of like where this is going. That whole other half of it just still rubs me the wrong way. No.
Yeah. And I
Mm-mm.
remember when I told you about it, I was like, Wesley. And he was like, oh, the scene is supposed to make you feel uncomfortable. Okay.
Like legit, it is.
They
Like
didn't have to take it that far. No,
oh,
no,
no,
don't even say even.
You,
No. Don't even say even, Wesley. They didn't have to take it that far.
I
They
still
could.
feel uncomfortable with it, even to this day. And I've read the manga, and I still feel uncomfortable.
Wesley, they could have done like an off-camera type gag.
I don't.
They could have just.
I
They
don't
didn't have
think.
to
I
ship
don't think they could have.
everything.
I don't
And I
think they
like
could have.
the thing that makes me laugh is that they made that thing, the pixelated thing.
Right.
We've seen titties on the Leech Devil.
Right.
We've seen things that have a very phallic look to them. But the thing that they're like, oh no, we're taking it too far, was the puke, and they pixelated it. What? Are you joshing me right now?
That was them straight up saying, all right, we're censoring this part.
And I'm sitting here like, why? Why is that? Why is this the thing that's too far?
Right?
So, okay, we're going to continue on from that because I need a the rest of the plot. So, like I said, they pull a hey, we were becoming too much like a shonen type thing, so we're gonna kill off all these characters that you were just introduced to.
Oh yeah,
Almost all of
Makima
them.
also gives Denji a kiss too through a
Indirect
lollipop.
indirect
Indirect
kiss.
Yeah.
But that's not important here. We're
Moving
talking
on.
about how this anime was just like, yeah, no, we're becoming too much like a shonen. We need to remember where we are. Remember who you are, Simba.
Yeah, long live the king. Bring in the gun devil.
Remember when you thought you was gonna get character development with Arai? Well, he's dead. Remember
Yep.
those cool higher ups of the sex Division 4? They seemed a little bit too normal, so we're gonna kill them. The only ones that are left of the original, Division 4. You remember Himeno? We created a friendship pact with them, right? Wrong. She's dead.
Right? And then also you got, the freaking nephew, or what was it? The no, it was the grandson. The grandson
So
of
wait, I know where you're going with this. Like the grandson of the Yakuza. He was the one that's like, oh, I'm gonna kill Denji because he killed my grandfather or whatever.
Yep.
But so to continue on, just
An old lady.
like we were introduced to all these characters, and I was ready to learn more about them because that's what shonen does, right? Introduces you to all these characters, and you're like, all right, I'm finna learn about them. I can't wait. They seem like interesting characters. Wrong. The only ones that are left alive now is Kobeni, Aki, Denji, Makima, and Kobeni. Did I say Kobeni? Power.
Yeah, Power.
Those are the ones that left the original section or whatever, Division 4.
Yeah, Division 4. Yeah.
We were introduced to like 10 characters in episode 7. We were introduced to like 10 characters, were brought back down to like 5.
Yeah. And everyone had a piece on them.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's just like what? And then it ends with like the season ends. We get introduced to the Katana Devil, the snake,
Devil.
the woman who has a contract with the snake devil. We get to see Makima's power, which is like still mysterious because technically we don't know what she has a contract with, but I kind of know a little bit of spoilers where technically she doesn't have a contract with anybody, but we're going to talk about that later. What if they ever show it in the anime? Because this is manga spoilers. Like I said, Wesley, I know about Makima.
Yeah.
Ha ha ha. I
Mm-hmm.
like how they did that.
Uh-huh.
Fucking this anime, dude.
I will say they did a good job with Aki's backstory.
Yes. Oh, that was wonderful.
Yeah. Because like you at least got to see why he became a devil hunter.
And I feel like that's a great way to introduce the gun devil. Because the gun devil is so mysterious. We don't know we legit don't know anything about the gun devil. But
And
he caused this much.
He took a lot of lives
In one day, and he's only shown himself once. And it was said because I forgot this technically the timeline of this is it took place during the Cold War. Because it talked about the Soviet Union and the U.S. and I'm like, whoa. And they said the thing that set the gun devil off was the 9/11 attack. And I'm like, okay, interesting. I like that.
Yeah.
It's it's crazy. I'm sorry. I know I'm rambling, but this is taking place in an alternate universe where the Cold War had a lot more devastating effects on humanity. But so that's basically season 1. We kill the Katana. Well, we didn't kill him. We get him into custody. And the snake, the girl who had the contract with the snake devil, she dies.
By the snake devil.
By the snake devil, which we think was because of the gun devil.
Himeno already gave up all of her whole being to the ghost devil, pretty much.
Yeah, well, yeah, Himeno's dead.
I do like what the ghost devil did anyway.
That was really cool too.
Yeah.
Like the easy revenge. Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
And I like how, we get an explanation of the ghost devil where, he was like, the ghost devil doesn't have any eyes, so it senses fear to like help it move around or whatever. And so he just calmly walks up and just execute it because the ghost devil is just kind of like, this is your revenge.
Yep.
Get that revenge and find your inner peace.
I'm like, dang. Yeah, we also got to talk about the fact that Aki no longer has the fox devil.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, he really didn't have much of a connection.
He gave a piece of himself to the fox devil in order to use the fox devil. Then during the fight with Katana Man, the fox devil was like, you know what, I don't want to, this contract is null and void, you are no longer going to use me again. And so then now Aki had to get another contract,
which is with the future devil.
Gosh.
Future psycho. Future psycho. Future psycho.
He just kept saying the future rules, and I'm like, oh my gosh, calm down, guy. And his only thing was, hey, let me live in your right eye. I want to see the most painful death possible.
Yes.
I'm like, are you sure about that?
Because I mean, we found out then and there, like a little bit before that Aki really doesn't have much time to live anyway. He only has 2 years.
Yeah. Oh yeah, due to the curse sword. Yeah.
Yeah. Because when he asked it and the thing came up, it was like 2 years. Like I was expecting like 10 years or something. No, 2. And I already know about one event that actually shortens his lifespan more. So So even if we had Aki as main character, he's not gonna last long anyway.
Yeah.
Like I like how the most main character shonen main character we have literally does not have much time left anyway. So what's the point?
True. True.
So okay, but yeah, I'm gonna hop off the okay. This is a shonen anime without it being a shonen anime.
Hmm.
We're gonna talk about the cons because I personally have no cons. Do you have any cons with this, Wes?
Um, no,
There's a
but
reason
I
why I'm
do
asking
wanna
you this.
I do wanna say something real quick. It's not a con. It's not a
Okay.
con. Um, remember how before I was talking about like anime only, like our anime original stuff?
Yeah,
So there is like one scene that I did like that was not added into the that was never
that
in
wasn't
the
in the manga. Hmm.
and it's Aki's everyday routine.
That is a very nice touch. Anyone know something, Wesley?
Hmm.
That
Yeah.
is very much Japanese cinematography. Moments of silence and nothing much happening. Like
Right.
seeing Aki's daily routine, that was so beautifully done. I like
Hmm.
that as well. And it's interesting. And you know what? I can see that not working in a manga sense because you won't really be able to like really envelop that moment of peace. Like you
Because I
notice how sorry.
no, go ahead. I was gonna say that like I don't I think when Mappa came I think when Mappa asked Fujimoto about this, I think Fujimoto was just like, yeah, you can because Mappa wanted to make a one for one recreation of the manga. And then I think they just took liberties and just decided to add a couple more things that weren't
Yeah,
in the
I
manga.
do believe so as well.
Yeah.
But so let me just tell you, like, do you realize, like, throughout the entire scene before Power came in and like caused her destruction,
Mm-hmm.
you notice that there wasn't even like that much noise. Even when Denji got up, not much noise was throughout that whole entire scene.
Mm-hmm.
All we heard was him making coffee, him putting clothes. Like he never spoke. We just heard the small sounds of life.
Yeah. And even
And
like
I'm like,
toward the end, like when Power and Aki are asleep on the floor and Aki just walks out onto the balcony.
oh, you're talking about the ending. Yeah.
Still like it fit though.
It did. There was not much sound because Aki, that's just Aki.
Mm-hmm.
Is he goes through his chaotic moments, but then he just also finds like quiet.
Yeah.
So let me get into the cons because we do have to start wrapping up here soon.
Yeah.
So like I said, I have no cons. You said you didn't have any cons really.
Mm-mm.
So us personally, we didn't have really any much cons with the show. I just hated how they pixelated the barf because they felt like that was the thing that needs to be pixelated.
Yeah.
However, again, anime community has found a way to try to they found something else to complain about.
As they
Uh
usually
there
do.
there's one controversy I know and there's one controversy you know about the anime.
Mm-hmm.
So, and you told me about this, so I'm going to introduce both of them.
Okay.
The
Good.
first one, the Japanese voice of Makima.
Mm-hmm.
For some reason, a lot of people didn't like it.
Is that just out of like just they didn't like the voice actor, or they just didn't like the way that the
They
voice of Makima was just portrayed?
they said that they felt like Makima didn't sound threatening,
All right.
which they said like she just sounded so calm. Or
Is
like
she?
I forgot exactly what they said, but they were just so angry. They're like Akima should not Akima.
You
Aki.
combine Aki and Makima?
They're like Makima shouldn't sound like that. Well, what should she sound like?
That's a good point. Yeah, what should she sound like?
But like I feel like that voice, like okay, so me personally, the
Mm-hmm.
Japanese voice fits for me.
Yeah.
I didn't really hear much complaints about the English voice, and you were saying like it sounded like it perfectly fit. So for
Yeah.
me, the Japanese voice, it felt like it fit to
Mm-hmm.
me because you want to know why? That's Makima.
Yeah.
The thing about her is that she is in control. Even when the situation is out of control, she is in control. Best
Mm-hmm.
example of this, the argument between Power and Denji. That was
Mm-hmm.
an out of
Mm-hmm.
control moment. All Makima did was sit there and stare and swapped over the legs that she had crossed.
Mm-hmm.
That was how much in control she had.
And all she said was, "Can you two
Could you
keep it
quiet?
down?"
Yeah,
Yeah.
could you two quiet down? And realize she never rose her voice.
Mm-hmm.
Her voice did not raise in an octave. She speaks at the same level throughout. I'm pretty sure if I was to take any clip that where she spoke in this entire thing, she'd probably be in the same vocal range the entire time. Even at the infamous kiss at episode 7, did you
Mm-hmm.
realize when she asked for it, like, oh, can we get something to clean this up? She didn't freak out like everyone else.
Yeah.
Everyone else was losing their mind, freaking out because Himeno was vomiting into Denji's mouth. And all she said was, oh, can we get something to please clean this up?
Yeah. Or like even when
Like,
she asked for beer, she's just like, "Oh, can I get a couple rounds over here?" Like,
she knows she's in control. Even when she got shot in the freaking train
mm-hmm.
and she comes back, as she's leaving the train, she doesn't sound exasperated. She doesn't sound like she's hurt. Nothing. When she's talking to the two, you know who I'm
Mm-hmm.
talking
Yeah,
about.
yeah.
She is forever in control.
Mm-hmm. And the first thing she says when she gets off the train, "Oh, this isn't my blood."
Yeah. She's like, oh, this isn't my blood. Like, what? Why do people not like that voice?
Right?
I don't understand. Like, that was the thing that upset me. I was like, what do you mean? Like, they're like, that's not how Makima is supposed to sound. She's in control. She's never afraid. She doesn't feel like she's threatened in any way. Well, she does say the people in Kyoto are a little bit intimidating, but she's never like truly afraid. So I don't see. And then you told me about the one where like people are petitioning because they felt like the anime wasn't anime enough.
Yeah.
Wesley,
Because
let me tell you how much BS that actually is.
go on.
With, I'm sorry. How about you give your thoughts first? I'm sorry.
No, no. So like, it's just weird because like, I mean, the anime's already done. The animators already took time and like already did everything they needed to do. The voice actors did everything they needed to do. So
Yeah.
why go out of your way and be like, "Oh, this isn't what I want. Let me go out and sign a petition to make sure that the anime gets adapted to make it be more anime like." If Mappa wanted to go for a more anime style, they would have gone for a more anime style.
Yes.
They wanted to go for more realistic because that's the way Fujimoto had made the manga. They were trying to do a one for one adaptation of the manga.
And let me tell you, there's no other style that would fit this anime more.
Right?
Because this anime, like I know I keep pounding this into
It's
your
more
head.
it's grounded in realism, pretty
Well,
much.
one, yeah, it's grounded in realism, but two, this anime is out to prove that this shonen is not a shonen.
Yeah.
Like we think about other shonens, again, I know I keep saying it, I keep pounding it into your head. But look at My Hero Academia. Look at freaking Demon Slayer. Look at Naruto. Those are like, oh, that's so obviously anime. But then you look at freaking Chainsaw Man, and you're
Mm-hmm.
like, this is anime. They're like,
Mm-hmm.
well, no, that's not anime. No, what are you talking about? This is anime. This is the style that fits this. This anime, there's no sugarcoating it. Nothing is nice here.
Yeah.
There are ugly faces. Uh, the characters are more grounded in realistic, depictions. There's
Mm-hmm.
no cutesy, how some anime randomly goes chibi, even some like shonen anime. For
Yeah.
example, when Zenitsu first meets Nezuko, he
Yeah.
goes into
Yeah.
a
And it goes
chibi
chibi.
cartoony.
Yeah.
Yeah, he goes chibi. That never happens in this anime. Let me tell you the most beautiful cinematography I saw, and then I'll tell you about the most beautiful animations that I've seen.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful cinematography. The start of episode 8, where we see what happens to Denji in Himeno's point of view.
Mm-hmm.
Like the way the camera like stumbles around when it goes into first person, the odd angles, the quietness of the situation, that is beautiful cinematography, and
Mhm.
that fits this scene so well.
Yeah.
Then we're gonna go to ending 5, I do believe, when it's like the Infinity Devils ending.
Yeah. Yeah.
That perfectly simulates infinity. It's
Hmm.
incomprehensible. There are moments in this anime where things are happening, it does not make sense, or you just cannot grasp the absolute destruction and gore of this anime. And I could not see it any other way. So why would people want to sign a petition to say this is not anime enough? This is perfect. Do you not know the source material?
Right?
The source material is a shonen, but it's not a shonen.
You
Yet
got
it
like
was
100
published
and
in
something chapters.
but it was published in Shonen
Running
Jump,
jump. Yeah.
the shonen of all shonen. Like I don't know how to tell it to people more. This is not meant to be an anime style anime.
Right?
There's nothing cute about it. There's nothing fluffy about it. The main character is laughable. Like, I don't I don't
Oh
know.
no.
I don't know. I see it as perfect the way it is.
Same.
All of its grossness, all of its difference, the way that it's purposely setting itself out to be
Hmm.
completely different from other shows that we have seen so far. This is absolutely perfect
Yeah.
and is marketed as a shonen.
Yeah. Clear cut. Marketed as a shonen.
But I mean, those are my last words when it comes to this. I like this. It's not animated. It's not supposed to be.
Are you ready for the next arc?
Honestly, I'm terrified because what they did to me throughout episodes 7 and 8,
Hmm.
that debated me so hard. I honestly don't know what is going to be happening. I know the angel devil becomes important.
Hmm. Oh yeah, definitely. Because
That's all I know.
we got the angel devil, we got the spider devil, the violence devil, the shark devil.
My goodness. But yes.
But yeah.
So we got to end it here. Are you ready for this next arc in
Oh
anime
yeah,
form?
definitely. I am ready. If you guys like Chainsaw Man, or if you guys have watched, pretty sure most of you guys have watched Chainsaw Man by this point. It's been out for a minute. But
Yes.
if you haven't and you want to, let us know. Let us know what you think
Mhm.
about it. Let us know your thoughts. Comment down below. Please like, comment, and subscribe.
We'd like to thank you for visiting us at
The Underground Geek Shack.
Bye, guys.
See you guys.
Maestro.